Hello friends, this is Jim with Science Talk. I want to do a follow-up on a story I reported to you in an earlier video, and this involves the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. New studies have indicated that this garbage patch has quadrupled, maybe even increased 16-fold in its density. Basically, this Pacific garbage patch is getting denser. This is basically floating plastic out in the ocean, and it spans more than 617,000 square miles. Let me repeat that. This garbage patch floating in the North Pacific covers more than 617,000 square miles, 1.6 million square kilometers. And its density, as I reported at the outset, is now between 4 and 16 times greater than previous estimates. Researchers determined this by looking at the accumulation of plastic trash in the Pacific between California and Hawaii. They found that the patch has more than 87,000 tons, 79,000 metric tons, of plastic in it. That equates to approximately 1.8 trillion, trillion with a T, pieces of plastic. Or if you really want to break it down, 250 pieces for every person on the planet. Also, the concentration of tiny plastics known as microplastics, and you heard me do a report on that in water, has exponentially increased since the 1970s. The researchers also looked at the size of the plastics in the water. While debris larger than 2 inches, 5 centimeters, across accounted for more than 75% of the total weight of the plastics, there were far more microplastics, which represented the majority of the 1.8 trillion pieces inside the patch. This statement comes from Laurent Leberton, who's the lead researcher of the Ocean Cleanup Foundation and the lead author of the study to which I am reporting. The foundation, in addition to documenting the plastic and the garbage that's there, is looking to develop technologies that can extract the plastic from the garbage patch. Professor Leberton states, plastic pollution in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is more severe than expected. Additionally, there was this Dutch inventor by the name of Boyan Slat, who in 2013 founded a group called the Ocean Cleanup. And in 2013 he was only 18 years old. But he's formed this foundation, has made it a success, and has helped raise monies to study the Pacific Garbage Patch. And as it turns out, he is the study's second author. Once the foundation had the money and equipment, the scientists went to work conducting reconnaissance missions into the Great Pacific Garbage Patch between the years 2015 and 2016 to get a more accurate picture of what's happening out there. The missions included 652 net tows carried out by 18 vessels, as well as reconnaissance trips aboard a C-130 Hercules aircraft. They also collected water samples, and on those water samples they conducted laboratory experiments to quantify, characterize, and understand physical properties of buoyant plastic collected at sea. This is a quote from Leberton. Leberton continues to say, finally we developed a numerical model to supplement our field data, allowing us to provide more insight on the patch's dynamics and composition. The results showed that plastics made up 99.9%, nearly the whole patch of the debris. Fishing nets accounted for at least 46% of the plastics. Many fishing nets are made out of a plastic material. Smaller items had broken down into, had fragmented, but still researchers were able to identify quite a few of those objects, including various containers, bottles, lids, packaging straps, ropes, and so forth. This one is telling. 50 items even had discernible dates, including one from 1977, 7 from the 1980s, 17 from the 1990s, 24 from the 2000s, and 1 from 2010. 1977, that's 40 years of persisting in the environment. Debris was predominantly made of hard, thick polyethylene and polypropylene material, as well as derelict fishing gear. A lot of the size of the garbage was small enough that the net did not pick it up because of the size of the net being used in the tows. But it was still able to quantify via the water sample that were collected. So now the question is, where's this plastic coming from and who does it belong to? The plastic in the patch comes from both land and marine sources, as well as from the 2011 Tohoku tsunami that hit Japan. On land, implementing better waste management practices and diverting consumption away from single-use plastics, such as water bottles, may help stem the tide of plastic at sea in the coming years, so said Leverton. In the ocean, he continues, in the ocean, developing better technologies for the fishing and aquaculture industries to retrieve lost gear may also help mitigate the problem. These plastics can harm marine life. You saw me do a report where I discussed what happened to a young male sperm whale that was found 65 pounds of plastic in his stomach and intestines. The whale had washed up dead off the coast of Spain. Animals can even ingest the small bits of trash, and this can lead to a myriad of health problems, including starvation, because the plastic takes up room in their stomachs, is not broken down, and obviously does not offer nutritional value, as well as the fact that it can block the GI tract, the gastrointestinal tract. And that can lead to peritonitis, sepsis, and so forth. The plastics can also contaminate the animals with persistent organic pollutants, commonly called POPs, which were found in 84% of the ocean plastic collected by the trawls. The fact that the garbage patch is growing is also supported by research coming out soon by Captain Charles Moore, who discovered the Great Pacific Garbage Patch in 1997. Apparently he has returned on several more cruises for research purposes to document this patch. It was he who noted the large disparity in the density of the patch now compared with previous estimates, that is 4 to 16 times denser. This is due to improved methodology used nowadays as opposed to 20 years ago. Some researchers in the past perhaps only concentrated at looking at the larger pieces and therefore missing the smaller pieces, leading to an underestimation of the amount of garbage there. But in any case, improved methodologies is giving researchers a better handle of exactly what is out there. The study that I'm reporting on was published in the March 22nd issue of the journal Scientific Reports. But this brings us to a very serious problem, because plastics are a product of the petroleum. About 8% of the oil that is refined is made into plastics. It may come as a surprise that a large user of plastics is the medical industry. IV bags, plastic tubing to run the IV, all sorts of syringes and so forth. It's a lot easier to dispose of these items as opposed to autoclaving, sterilizing, say, glassware. So the medical industry is a large contributor, is a large user of plastic products. Also, remember, if you went to, back in the days, you went to McDonald's, you had the styrofoam containers. Well, it's good to see that they've moved away from that, and basically the food, if you can call it that, is given to you in basically a cardboard box. So that is good, that the amount of styrofoam is being reduced. However, we still have styrofoam cups, which is not good. Humans as a whole need to rethink our plastics, rethink the materials that are made from plastic, ropes, fishing lines, and so forth, monofilaments, things of that nature. We need to take a hard look at what we're using, and we need to come up with better ways to prevent this material from just entering the ecosystem, no matter where it is, be it a river system, oceanic system, wherever. We just need to mitigate, reduce, if not totally eliminate, plastic getting into the environment. I'll be having another story shortly talking about more plastic issues. If you like this video, please share. Please subscribe, hit the bell so that you know when I upload a video. I hope you consider going to Patreon and supporting my work. It's patreon.com/Science Talk with Jim Massa. All the words separated by underscore. Hope you will consider supporting the work that I do. I hope you will, in addition to sharing my videos, tell others of the work I do, have them subscribe, have them become patrons at Patreon. I do not receive any corporate money, so I am not obligated to report what they want people to know. I give you the facts. I give you the data and what it means. Thank you for your time.